Welcome, welcome, and welcome. We are to chapter 13, if you can believe it. This is the brand chapter, and I'm excited to go through this chapter. This is actually one of the topics that I get asked to guest lecture on quite a bit. We're going to be talking about LinkedIn. We're talking about branding yourself online, and you've gone through the chapter, you've done all those types of things, so hopefully what I'm going to share with you today is going to be quite helpful. Okay, so you're all on Instapost and Face Friends and Tick, Don't, and whatever else is out there, right? I'm sure. Anyway, so what happens when you don't portray yourself online the way that you would like to be portrayed, or you portray yourself in a way that you think you'd like to be portrayed, but others see it differently? Okay, so what happens with social media is that once you post it, it's there forever. Someone, you say, yeah, I deleted it, or I untagged myself, or whatever, but it's there permanently. And so let me show you some the downsides to social media. Okay, all right, this gal right here was found during the 2012. Was it 2012? No, 12. Anyway, 2014, maybe? I think it's 2014. 2014 World Cup. She was a Belgian gal, and they were scanning the crowd. And the cameraman stopped on this really pretty girl. Anyway, she was contacted by Avon, or sorry, L'Oreal, and L'Oreal wanted to hire her as a model. Could you imagine being 17 years old and you get a phone call from one of the biggest cosmetic brands out there? Anyway, one of L'Oreal's biggest things is animal safety, animal wellness, whatever. This gal here, she posted this right before the USA-Belgium game. And what happened to L'Oreal's offer? Well, they rescinded that offer. And then now I checked her out online, and she's doing some weird commercials in Belgium. Probably a little different from modeling for L'Oreal. Anyway, so what can happen with outside social media? It can, do things like disqualify you from a job, or in this case, some of you may have seen this. This went viral a while ago. Apparently, this guy said he was joking, but this Taco Bell, he put this on, I don't remember what it was, Instagram or something like that. Anyway, he was fired, and so everything you put online actually can cause you big problems, or the opposite. So what I did is I checked out some of the things on students that I've had, and so here are a couple pictures of me, and they're pretty innocuous. It's not that big a deal, but the kicker on these is that I didn't know some of these existed, right? I didn't know that these were out there. And so what is out there on you that you don't know about? Well, I can tell you. So what I do about every semester, is I go through LinkedIn profiles and your social media profiles, and well, I guess LinkedIn is social media, but through a bunch of different things on you online. So I type in your name, I type in your email address, I type in, anything that I can find, any type of personal information that you've given me or that I have public access to. And so really, well, nothing here is that crazy, right? So former students, current students, I've had things like, oh, I have this political view, or I've ran marathons, or some of these things actually aren't that big a deal, but they actually could be seen by the wrong audience in the wrong context, right? So what we're trying to do is figure out that your digital footprint, what you put online, actually reflects everything that you want it to. So, for example, if you're going for a job that's whatever it is in that job that they think is important. They find that on you online. Okay, so let me do kind of an overview of what recruiters would do if they were hiring you. And I say what I would do if I were hiring you. Let's just take Abby. Abby's a nice gal. We'll take her. Okay, so let's just say Abby Favik. I would say it differently because I say it the German way, but she's somebody I was going to hire, and I would do the following. First off, almost everybody's hired through LinkedIn or found through LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is the best way to set yourself apart in the job search and the best way to get found. Okay, so then when I check out her LinkedIn profile, and then I go to Facebook, Instagram, all sorts of different things on social media, whatever social media she's part of, I'd do that. Then I'd look at the email address that she provided on her resume, and or her, however she provided information to me. And then what's interesting is there are other things that I would also look at. So, for example, if you put your address on your resume, what I would do is see, well, I wouldn't, but some people would. They grab your address and they would do a Google Maps search of your house, see where you live, kind of look at your socioeconomic status, and or you have your high school. They see what high school you went to, and also try to determine a picture based on that. They also, so I'm not sure whether you know this, but anything that you have that's public records, so divorces or traffic tickets, I don't think it depends on the state, but they can do a public search based on or a background search based on your social security number or sorry, not your social security number, your name, date of birth, and really just fine with your name. But they will ask you to, in some circumstances, provide your date of birth and social security number so they can do a background check. So what that's going to show up is traffic tickets and silly things like that. But they'll also do that to check your credit score. And so if you are someone who has a ton of debt, right, and they're going to make that judgment call on you as well, right? So many of you may have debt for a car, and I would say that's wrong pretty much all the time. But you may have debt for a car, or you may have credit card debt, those types of things. They will see that, and they will make a judgment call on you based on that. And recruiters have more tools than I do. Okay, I probably wouldn't do a background check depending on the position. Entry level, probably not. But if it's something that somebody's going to work closely with, yeah, do a background check, credit check, and then go through all these profiles, online profiles, to see who I am hiring. Okay, and you might think your Facebook photos are private, or Instagram feed or whatever is private, but it's so easy to get access to those things. It's all your private pictures, and if you don't think that I can get access to it, I'm not that great at hacking, but I could easily, through social engineering, probably get access to any photos or streams or whatever that I want. I wouldn't do that because it's a waste of my time, but others may do that. Okay, so what we're trying to do is create an online presence that reflects exactly the person that they are looking for, the person that you want to portray. Okay, so let's talk about the upside. So you can go ahead and hit pause on the video and read this. Okay, so what happened to me is I was laid off in 2009. Pretty much everybody was laid off in, any business person. I was the only non-attorney in a law firm, and they laid me off. And so I'm not sure whether it was a friend or I'm not sure how this happened, but I figured, I'll just throw my profile up on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is pretty new then, and say I do regulatory affairs consulting. And you can obviously see here what happened is that many people over the years now, and this is the first contract, and I remember how excited I was that somebody actually was going to send me money during this time. But this is how I started my company, was on LinkedIn, and put my name out there saying I do regulatory affairs consulting for foods, cosmetics, supplements, or whatever. And I began to, after my non-compete was up, after I got laid off, and then I had think 6 months after my severance or whatever, I started getting contracts, and it turned out to be an incredible blessing in my life. I've done really well, and I just sold it last year, and all because of how I portrayed myself on the internet through LinkedIn. So let's go through LinkedIn. Excited? I hope so. Okay, so what we're going to do is I want you to pull up your profile, whatever it is, right? And we'll judge your profiles, and I'll go through your profiles and take a look at them. And I'm also here to help you enhance your profiles. But pull up your LinkedIn profile. First off, go ahead and send me a LinkedIn request. Get connected with me, get connected with see if I can help you out in your connections. If I can help you out in any way or need you to get introduced to anybody in my network, then I definitely be open and willing to help you get connected to whatever job or internship or professor or whatever it is. If they're connected to me, I'd love to help out. Okay, so you have your profile up, great. Okay, so look at your picture. Is it a professional picture? Okay, so one of the first things that I look at is, okay, did they spend the time to, if you have an iPhone 5 or whatever, you can take a professional picture. Even probably iPhone 4 or earlier, right? And then just use one of the thousands of free editors online to blur out the background, change the lighting, or do whatever on those. But make sure you have a professional picture on there. Okay. Second is you can see on. You can hit pause and read this if you'd like. Okay, you can see on my profile, and mine has changed a little bit, but go ahead and take a look at the keywords that I use here. So this is just like search engine optimization. So for example, let's take Christian. Okay, Christian, let's say he's a finance major. He wants to do variable hurdle rates calculations, and he uses Stata, and he uses what else is cool in that realm? I don't know, but he uses R and Python and who knows what else, right? All of those skills that he has, he needs to list specifically in his profile. Because when people are looking for you, they're looking for keywords. And once you go out, and there's an activity in this chapter where you can look at keywords that you put in your job search and you look at keywords. Those keywords that are on this job posting should be a part of your LinkedIn profile. So maybe not now, but once you go out there, if you're starting to see recurring keywords like VBA programming or gap regulations or whatever it is, those should be part of your profile so that you can be found. Okay, because if they're not there, then you're not going to get found. Okay, so make sure in your description, somewhere, experience, whatever it is there, that you do have keywords so they can find that you optimize your profile to be found. Okay, all right, skills endorsements. So I'm going over all of the sections just because I think it's helpful to understand what you should spend your time, what you shouldn't. Okay, I don't think skills endorsements is that helpful. I wouldn't spend too much time worrying about it, but you can put in things like like mine says strategy and marketing and startups and whatever, and I have people referring me for those. I think it's helpful to kind of show, okay, people know me and trust me in this specific realm. But I wouldn't, again, spend too much time trying to, beef up this part of your profile. Okay, so what is helpful, though, is that you should be, so you should be linking to portfolios and articles and things like that that you've actually done or things you're interested in. So let's take who haven't we picked on yet this semester? Peyton. Okay, let's take Peyton. All right, so let's just say Peyton, he wants to do entrepreneurship, right? And there's a startup that's looking at him. They're looking at a lot of people, and Peyton has no articles or activity or links or anything to do with entrepreneurship. He's not connected to people that are entrepreneurs. He just likes it, right? Versus, let's take, oh man, I'm trying to remember who the other. I think Derek. You're the other entrepreneur. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But let's take Derek, and Derek is linked to something like Elon Musk's latest posts, and he's linked to Silicon Slopes latest financing rounds of small to mid cap companies. And then he also has a link to a portfolio where he's done some analysis on spreadsheets for new companies, right? Or he's done some design work for a company, or whatever it is. That's definitely going to stand out a lot more than just having keywords and some experience. So link to articles, link to that you're interested in, make comments in groups, uh, and your profile should show should should show that you're interested in not only that company but the industry as a whole in that specific area. Okay, all right, connections. So what I recommend is that you have, or within about 6 months of having this class, I'd say 3 even better, that you have at least 100 connections, if not 200. And within this class, you'd have, you connect with everybody in this class, you have 24 connections, 25 technically with me and with Heather. 25 connections. This will make all the difference in your life. I tell you that I've luckily been able to do pretty well in and help people define success financially. And I would say that it has a lot to do with hard work, but it has probably more to do with the people that I was able to network with, specifically the people I was able to network with in school. Professors, students, etc. So what I would do with my connections, let's just say you get 200-300 connections, and then you're going for a job at Adobe. Okay, so you can look through your connections, and if you don't have anybody at Adobe, you can go ahead and start sending LinkedIn requests to people at Adobe who are doing similar jobs to you, saying, "Hey, I'm a student. I need to get 100 connections. That's part of an assignment that Mr. T is having me do. I'm really interested in your industry. Please connect with me. I'd love to chat." Right? And so you can build your network that way, and then, especially an internship type thing, you can start asking them questions. Do you like internships? Or ask them pointed questions. Say that you're doing project management within software development. Do you ever use this software, this software? How does your job, look like in a day to day? So you actually start to engage with the people in that company. And then you have them as a connection forever, unless you're stupid and do all these political postings and Antifa or other things that don't belong on LinkedIn, because it's a professional networking site. So you have these connections for a very long time, and you can use them whenever. And again, I get so many requests still for regulatory affairs consulting stuff, right? Or just old friends saying hey, how you're doing. And I think that's the reason why I've been able to build these connections is because I've actively sought them out, and like we talked about in diversity and inclusion, that I've actively tried to seek out people different from me. Okay. All right. Again, this is what we're talking about. So this interest section should also reflect your the interests in whatever job you're going for. So let's see, we have Abby, not Abby the ballet dancer, but Abby the gymnast. Okay. Let's say she wants to run a CrossFit gym or something like that, or she wants to be a manager there. And so the CrossFit manager, looks at her workouts and stuff, says, "Hey, you're great," and goes through her LinkedIn profile and sees that she has 10 interests all around CrossFit, CrossFit people, CrossFit philosophy. She has a degree in exercise science or whatever it is, with a specific to kinesiology or whatever that is. So when she looks at this profile, your interest should reflect the jobs that you're going for, and they should, and for your life, things you should be. Your interests should reflect, the jobs that you pick should reflect what you're actually interested in, right? And if it doesn't, then reevaluate kind of where you're at with your job search and with your education, right? Because you're going to be doing this for a long time. Whatever it is you're doing, you can do it for a long time. So learn all you can here in school. Find a job that you're interested in, but make sure, like I said, to reflect those interests on your LinkedIn profile so people can find you for them. Okay? All right. So, post. So in this class, you're asked to post your business article, right? So people are going to look at the posts that you do, and they're going to kind of make a judgment call on you there, right? Saying, okay, what are they posting on? The best way to do this is, let's just say that you're going into venture capital, okay, and you followed BlackRock, okay, and BlackRock just came out with some really kind of controversial products, war funding or whatever it is, but you're really interested in this company, and so your posts, you've liked some of the people's posts in that company, and then you've made insightful, intelligent comments in on their articles or on their posts or whatever. They're going to see that. They have analytics tools that are that can not only the analytics tools can kind of see who's posting what they're saying, but also when a manager comes to say, oh, who, we're looking for someone that has small to mid cap interests in VC funding, and so we want 4 years experience, whatever. That once they find your LinkedIn profile, they'll see that you've made comments on those, that they're intelligent, that are well thought out, and you've also connected with some people at the company. I call it cheating, right? I think probably a better word is leveraging your brand. Or you're trying to leverage your brand so that when you and another similarly qualified candidate both get put on the desk of the hiring manager, that once they start to check you out, they realize, oh my goodness, he's interested in all these things. He's been posting our company. He's connected to people in the industry. I can see his portfolio online of different types of, of projects he's done in school, or she. And because we're talking about Abby, I said he and she, and I'm sorry, I shouldn't use those pronouns interchangeably, but has her profile there and can see all these different things. And that's what will make a huge difference in the recruiting process. And that's what can get you there. And then obviously you need to have the skills to pay the bills, right? Okay, so we're going to skip the judging LinkedIn profiles real quick, okay? But I wanted to just quickly have you look up somebody. Just type in Matt Easton, M-A-T-T space Easton, E-A-S-T-I-N. So he's a friend of mine, and I looked up his profile just to kind of see, okay, he's, he could have the most hilarious Facebook posts, etc. But what he's actually done is, if you look it up, you'll see that he's done all these videos for famous artists and commercials, etc. And everywhere I look for him, through his Facebook, through his personal website, whatever it is, all reflect his expertise in videography. No matter where I go, all I can find is that he does great videos. So you should be the same. When they put in your name, when they put in your email address, everything that pops up is specific to, either, let's just take it as accounting, that you have great projects on accounting, or that you are well connected, or that your credit score looks great, or whatever it is in those. So you need to go through or type in your email address search like it asks you to in the chapter, and then start designing your digital footprint. Put a portfolio up, update your LinkedIn profile, delete some of those old those old Facegram and Instapost or Instabook or whatever it's called. Make sure that you've untagged yourself from some unsightly photos, or that you've gotten rid of things that are out of date or could give more information than you'd like to give. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful. The LinkedIn stuff is vital to find a job in pretty much every industry. And now that you know the basics of how to use LinkedIn, you should be one step ahead of the next candidate in the dog-eat-dog world of finding a job. Okay, we shall talk to you soon.